Hi, I'm Tanya Kramer, and I'm here to talk about social media and its effect on mental health. Most of us are familiar with the social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's easy for us to get caught up in the social world and we feel instantly connected to those people that we haven't spoken to in years, and it can go back to high school or even grade school. And it is exciting because we feel like we're invited into their homes and we get to see their children and we get to see their funny pets. And although social media relationships can be a positive effect on our mental state, studies have also been conducted linking social media to depression, social isolation, eliciting feelings of envy, insecurity, and even poor self-esteem. Other studies indicate that social media sites can have a positive effect for those struggling with anxiety and depression. So it can really play two very different roles depending on where a person is in their mental state. And perhaps it's best to understand our own personal reasons for using social media and to evaluate whether or not the use of them is helping or hindering our sense of connection to others, as well as our overall emotional health. This brings me to a story about my daughter when she was in middle school and they first started using Facebook. The kids were pretty excited, and it would be like a race to see who had the most friends. And a lot of them were even friending people they didn't even know, which didn't really make sense to me. But when you have two kids who post a picture with very similar clothing and hairstyle, and one gets 50 likes and one gets 5, well, guess who got 5 likes? It was my daughter, and I had to deal with the emotional stress. Nobody likes me, and I don't want to go to school because nobody thinks I'm funny. And it was just an emotional roller coaster. And it's a good example of how the things that we post and the things that people say or don't say can really affect our emotional health. I think that although some of us are really, really good about not getting sucked in to drama or being envious of others and their items and their vacations and everything that we see, some people really do have a difficult time coping, and it can really cause them to become depressed. And some may even really just become obsessed with other people's lives because they feel that their lives are so poor that they need to live vicariously through someone. So we need to understand what social media is. And if we look at the definition given by Wikipedia, it says social media is computer-mediated tools that allow people to create, share, or exchange information, ideas, and pictures or videos in virtual communities and networks. And I think that's the biggest thing, is we need to remember that this is just a virtual world. This isn't real life. I mean, it is real life because you're looking at real videos and real pictures, but it's not our life. And people can look so much happier in a picture. They can put on a show a little easier when you're not seeing them face to face. So I think it's really important to understand that a virtual world and a reality world are two very different things. Social media sites that have the most impact on mental health, I believe, are Facebook and Twitter. 1 in 4 people around the world are members of either of those sites. That is crazy. So I think it's very easy to understand how people become so addicted. And studies show that 63% of Americans log on to Facebook daily, and 40% of those log on multiple times each day. People use the site for many reasons. However, it usually serves some level of the same basic purposes: distraction, for boredom, and boredom relief. And likes and comments are positive reinforcements for posting information, making it difficult for a person to stop. So once you get those positive things, it's almost hard to not just keep doing it. It's a great high for some people. There are many positive effects of social media on mental health. Social media isn't all about selfie taking, cyberbullies, or killing productivity. When used in moderation, it can be achieved what it was meant to be for, and that's for connecting people. Research conducted found that introverted adolescents can actually gain social skills by using social media. In part, it's because particularly shy people feel more comfortable behind a computer screen, tablet, phone. You get the idea. Um, this also stated that teens were becoming very good at virtually expressing empathy towards each other, which is a very positive thing. Um, it also increases our connectivity. So people can find like-minded individuals and share their beliefs or even counsel each other and be there for each other with issues they may be having. These are some really positive things. Social media can really have some very negative effects on our mental health. First, it can make certain people just really unhappy. And these are the people that look at the Facebook or the Twitter and go, oh my gosh, look at that new boat, I wish I could have it. Or look at that haircut, I wish my hair could look like that. It really does make a lot of people very envious. And a study from the University of Michigan collected data about Facebook users and how it correlated with their moods. Simply put, the more avid users overall were unhappy than those who used the site less. And over time, more of those users were actually reporting lower satisfaction in their overall lives. I mean, that's a huge impact. You let this website dictate how you're going to feel about your life. It's crazy, but we do it. A funny one is it leads to multitasking. And how many of you have more than just this tab open watching this video? I can tell you right now, I probably have 8. And I often do that. And you have the Facebook or the Twitter tab open and you're trying to work on a project or check an email and something pops up and you have to go read it. And it's very distracting, and it causes us to be less productive, which causes anxiety and stress over getting done what we need to be getting done. Also, social media can make you restless. People admit to having difficulty relaxing when unable to use their social media sites. Or I think a lot of people will stay up all night reading it and then they can't even turn their mind off because it's just racing about what everybody's doing. A huge one is cyberbullying. We thought bullies were bad back in the day, and now we have cyberbullying. It's an enormous concern, especially for adolescents. And an organization that aims for internet safety called Enough is Enough conducted a survey that found 95% of teenagers who use social media have witnessed cyberbullying. 33% have been victims themselves. So it really, really can have a very big impact on our mental health. So how can we find balance in our virtual and real-time relationships? Well, first off, we can ask ourselves, why are we using these networking sites? What are we trying to gain from it? Is it just to build relationships for professional networking purposes, to connect to old friends, or to stay connected to those that live far away? Or is it because we want to see what people are doing? Are we being nosy? What are our reasons? And once you determine what you're looking for, then you can start to set some realistic goals. I think limiting our time on the social networking sites is a big way to help your mental state. It will help control the amount of time that you're spending in that virtual world, because we know even the people who look the happiest probably aren't always the happiest, but because they portray themselves that way, that's what we want to perceive. Um, so if social networking sites do cause you to feel disconnected, depressed, lonely, consider upping your interactions with people. Sending them private message or text message. And this level of virtual communication is more personal and intimate than communicating in an open forum, or even just try an old-fashioned talking to someone face to face. I mean, having those realistic conversations and connections is extremely important. Which brings me to make sure you have time for your friends and family. Beyond having that virtual world, having positive, secure relationships is strongly associated with high levels of self-esteem, and it fosters feelings of connectedness and decreased depression and anxiety. So it is very, very important to have those real-life connections rather than just the virtual. So we really have the ultimate decision to how we let social media affect our lives. And by being better informed and aware of some of the possibilities, we can do a better job of protecting ourselves and our children from suffering ill effects of social media.